Good afternoon. I'm meteorologist Caitlin McGrath joining you this afternoon for a Weather Watch update. We have issued a Weather Watch alert for a widespread significant severe weather event already unfolding and expected to continue as we head throughout the afternoon and evening. This is Doppler radar on a 3-hour loop. A lot of folks still in the clear. You still have some time to prepare if you haven't done so already for damaging wind, really locally heavy rain, some large hail possible as well. But if you look off to our west, you can already see a cluster of severe thunderstorms continuing to work their way out of the Ohio River Valley and into the D.C. area. We will zoom in a little bit closer. We have our first severe thunderstorm warning on the map back into parts of western Maryland and West Virginia. This is until 1:45 this afternoon for parts of Allegheny, Berkeley, Hampshire, and Morgan County. You can see these two kind of individual storms that we're watching within the severe thunderstorm warning. I will say it has kind of pulsed down a little bit since that warning was first issued. This one just off to the north and east of Romney had a pretty solid hail core to it, indicating some small to moderate hail, but it's not looking nearly as impressive right now. Still some really locally heavy rain just off to the east of Springfield, in addition to some thunder and lightning. We'll take you up to that other storm pushing off to the north and east, and these storms are flying very quickly. Forward motion forecast to be around 55 miles per hour per the National Weather Service. Berkeley Springs right along 522 getting in on this pocket of really heavy rain. But these storms going to be off to the north of the Pennsylvania border here momentarily, moving around again 55 miles per hour. Elsewhere, we are still quiet for now. We still have a few hours before our severe weather risk really starts to ramp up. But the Storm Prediction Center new this morning put us in a level 4 out of 5 risk for severe weather. That's everywhere you see shaded there in red. The Metro D.C. area back into Montgomery, Frederick County, all of northern Virginia, into parts of West Virginia as well. This is the first time they've issued a risk like this since June of 2013 for the D.C. and Baltimore area. On the outskirts, the areas you see shaded there in orange, that includes parts of western Maryland, down into southern Maryland and the northern neck. That's where we have a level 3 out of 5 risk for severe weather. But where they issued this red area, that's where we are expecting those widespread winds gusting 60 to 70 miles per hour with localized gusts possible even higher than that. And with that level 4 out of 5 threat, we also now have a 10% chance for isolated tornadoes. I know when you hear 10%, it doesn't sound like much, but any percent probability of tornadoes is significant for our area, and we won't rule out a few quick spin-up tornadoes. We're not talking about destructive long-track tornadoes with this event, but rather a severe a tornado warning or two possible as this strong line of storms pushes off to the east. So our critical timing starts at 2 o'clock this afternoon. We are almost there. We have those few warnings ahead of the main show right now, but right around 2 o'clock we start to see storms really taking off along the I-81 corridor, pushing off to the east as we head throughout the evening. I do think we're in the clear generally around 9 o'clock. A lingering storm or two is possible, but it's really the afternoon into the evening hours that you need to be weather alert. Our biggest concern is far and large the wind. Those widespread destructive winds gusting 60 to 70 miles per hour with a few isolated downbursts that could produce some even stronger winds, similar to what we saw 2 Saturdays ago that caused all of that damage in parts of Montgomery County and northwest D.C. We have a very similar setup today. Some really dry air in the mid-level of the atmosphere, and that can only help to push down that rain-cooled air, those really strong wind gusts rushing towards the surface. That's where we see those isolated gusts upwards of 70, 75 miles per hour. Isolated tornadoes, as we mentioned, a threat, especially as we head into the later evening hours. I think once we start to mix in some low-level jet energy, especially for areas north and east of D.C., that's when we could see a few isolated tornadoes spin up. Large hail not out of the question, so if you can, try and park your car under cover. If you want to play it extra safe, throw a blanket or a towel at least over your windshield. It really can make a difference when it comes to mitigating hail damage on your vehicle. Flooding is also a concern. There is just so much moisture in the atmosphere. Once you get it to ring out with these storms, we can expect some really impressive rainfall rates as we head throughout the afternoon and into the evening. So the best thing you can do right now is prepare if you haven't done so already, and do so quickly. quickly. Talk to your loved ones. Talk about where you will go if a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning is issued. We know with tornado warnings, it's time to seek shelter, but even with some of these stronger, potentially destructive severe thunderstorm warnings, I would head to that safe space in your home, in your office. Just know where you're going to go. So here we are right around 3 o'clock. We'll take you hour by hour on Futurecast. These storms, again, starting to take shape along the I-81 corridor, becoming a little better organized as we head toward 5, 6 o'clock, starting to work their way into parts of Loudoun County, Upper Montgomery County, Frederick County in Maryland, Northern Virginia. By 5 o'clock, even better organization for this strong line of storms. Might start to look a little bit like a derecho as we head throughout the evening, but keep in mind, in order to be a derecho, it has to be long track for hundreds of miles. We are not talking about that type of storm, but we could see the same strength that you would expect to see in a derecho, and that is the big takeaway. These isolated bursts of winds upwards of 70 to 75 miles per hour. By 6 o'clock, that line of storms starting to work its way through the metro DC area, and this is where the tornado threat is sneaky. They're not going to be individual storms with clearly defined rotation, rather embedded within this line of storms, just these little kinks in that squall line that could produce a quick spin up tornado. So that's what we'll be watching as we head throughout the evening. I do think the area with the best chance to see an isolated tornado would be around the metro DC area, back into Montgomery County, Howard County, and areas off to our north and east, especially as we do get into the later evening hours. By 7, 8 o'clock, most of the storms pushing off to the east of 95. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a lingering stronger storm toward about 8, 9 o'clock tonight, but once we lose the daytime heating shortly after the sun sets, our threat for severe weather really should start to wane. This is right around 9 p.m. Again, a lingering shower or downpour not out of the question, but I do think as you're checking in with Topper at 11 o'clock tonight, it will be all about the cleanup as storms continue to push out of our region. So here's what you need to do as we head through the next several hours. First and foremost, have that plan in place. Discuss where you will go, whether you're at home, whether you're at the office, or if you have outdoor plans. You need to make sure you have a place nearby to shelter, have a way to get our alerts. That really can help save lives. You will get those severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings right in the palm of your hand through our WUSA 9 app as they are issued. You can also track the storms using our interactive radar, and a reminder, if a tornado warning is issued or if you're seeking shelter during a severe thunderstorm warning, you can stream our coverage right on our app as well. You can also turn up your TV's volume, head into that safe location, listen to what we're saying, and we will tell you when it is safe to get out of that sheltered location, and just stay weather alert throughout the day. We'll be bringing you updates on air, online, and on our app as we head throughout the day today. Now, as soon as you step outside, it feels like a day where we could see severe weather. Dew points right now 75 degrees. That is just about as uncomfortable as it gets. All of that moisture helping to fuel the atmosphere in addition to the heat. Right now, we're already up to 91 degrees in Front Royal, upper 80s in Frederick and Leesburg. It's 84 degrees in DC. 91 down into southern Maryland. Temperatures expected to continue to climb into the low 90s across the map. That will help create a very unstable atmosphere for storms to really take off in. Now, the storms tonight, they're moving ahead of a cold front. Behind that cold front, we do get great relief tomorrow. Dew points will fall from the 70s down into the 50s. So really comfortable as we look ahead toward Tuesday and Wednesday. If you're looking forward to the lack of humidity, enjoy it, because by the end of the week, dew points are back in the low 70s. So the weather watch alert, it continues throughout the evening until the last storm has cleared out of here. We will be keeping you posted on where the worst of the weather is across all of our WUSA 9 platforms. Tomorrow, in the wake of the storms, a nice day. Great news there for cleanup, and I do think there will be some pretty significant cleanup. Wind damage, a big concern as we head throughout the day today. We had some heavy rain, especially around the metro DC area last night. The ground is saturated. Trees are compromised from the downburst we saw just 2 weekends ago. So any storms that might not have been knocked down in those storms, but weekend could come down a little more easily as we head throughout the day today. So downed trees, downed branches, downed power lines, uprooted trees. All a concern as we head throughout the day today. Wednesday, the nice weather continues. By Thursday, we have our next chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the afternoon and evening. The severe risk not looking anything like what we're dealing with for today, and we'll keep storm chances in the forecast as we head toward Friday and the weekend. So we'll send you back to radar here for one more wrap up if you are just joining us. It looks like a tornado warning was just issued for areas just off to the west of western Maryland. So let's zoom in a little bit closer there and see what we have going going on. This just gives us an indication of what's to come as we head throughout the afternoon. If we're already starting to see those little areas of rotation, this just off to the west of Oakland. So if you are familiar with the area right over Kingwood, we do have a tornado warning in effect as it stands right now.
Tornado watch for the entire DMV till 9.
And a tornado watch, Topper just let me know, was issued for the entire area until 9 o'clock this evening. So no surprises there. So again, if you are in the area of Western Maryland, you have loved ones in the area, we can expect this to cross over into our region here as we head throughout the afternoon. We're going to continue to keep you updates. We'll join you on air as these warnings are issued and continue to join you on our streaming platforms as well. Any questions you may have about the threats, feel free to reach out to the team on social media, and we'll keep you posted as these storms continue to develop.